Isn't it true? Isn't it true that waiting is a struggle? Because when you're waiting, it feels like nothing is actually happening. How is there any advantage to this? How is this in any way beneficial to me to be waiting?
And waiting is incredibly hard. It's hard because when we wait for a very long time, sometimes it can make you feel like, has God forgotten about me? And over time, you begin to think waiting is bad. It doesn't produce anything good for me.
Is it possible that the reason that waiting is so frustrating is that we haven't looked at waiting the right way? That you and I are absolutely focused on the destination. Hey, God, this is the thing you need to do. This is the thing that needs to be accomplished in my life. This is the goal that we've got to get to. Is it possible that you and I are so focused on the destination and that God is actually focused on you and me becoming? And it's not about getting there. It's about what happens on the journey. If you spend your life chasing destinations, hey, I can't wait until I accomplish that. I can't wait until I have enough. I can't wait. If you spend your life chasing destinations, you will constantly struggle with God. Because with God, it's not about the destination. It's about who you're becoming on the way. And guys, here's how you'll know if this is a struggle in your life or not. When you pray, do you pray, hey, God, if you could just give me a better house, and God, if I could just get the promotion, and God, if I could just stop being sick? Do you spend more time praying about the destination than becoming like the Son?
While I'm waiting, what are you doing in me? What do you see in me that needs to be strengthened? What do you see in me that needs to go? What do you see in me that needs to be equipped?
What do you pray for? It's going to tell you whether or not you're chasing the destination or you're focused on who you're becoming.
Most of us here would say, I trust God. Most of us here would say, I trust his plan. I believe that he has my best interest in mind. The hard part is, can we trust his timing? Patience and the ability to wait on God suggests that we trust his timing. That's why waiting on God is hard. But you know what's worse than waiting on God? Wishing that you waited on God. That however long you have to wait, it will be worth it because God's timing is perfect. See, we understand timing when it comes to other things in this life. You put cookies in the oven and they're supposed to take 20 minutes and you take them out after 5, they're not ready yet. But when we can't see God working, we grow impatient. We take matters into our own hands and we make a mess because we can't see what he's doing. He's up to something, we just can't see it. So while we wait, we can either make things worse by taking matters into our own hands, or we can allow the wait to build our character. We can allow the wait to grow fruit. We can allow the wait to remind us that he's good. And not only is he good, but that he's trustworthy and that his timing is best.
See, God has been working his way through history for all time. God is always at work when you can see it and when you can't. When you're rushing and when you're waiting, he is still at work.
And so the point in sharing this as a principle for us is God is working in the waiting. Some of you are in a period of waiting for whatever it might be. Maybe you're waiting to get married. Maybe you're waiting to have kids. Maybe you're waiting for that career that you would like, or whatever the case might be. Waiting to move, waiting for something. Don't get impatient, because it is in those waiting years that God can do wonderful things in your heart to prepare you, to refine you. There's some things that, like an onion, that need to be peeled off layer by layer, and God will reveal some things to us. But look, when God moved in the hearts and lives of people, it often was preceded by years of waiting. You know, God will take His time to do His good work. The waiting is not in vain. Somebody needs to hear that. And it is so counterintuitive to what we're used to, because in our culture, we want everything instantly. And if it doesn't happen by Thursday, we get mad at God. But God in His timing will bring about His perfect will if we learn to wait. So we have to learn, especially in our fast-paced culture, we have to learn the discipline of waiting on the Lord. And His perfect timing is always perfect.
So the question becomes, how do you and I learn how to wait better? What if what God's gonna do in your life takes 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? Having to wait that long is painful. So here's the big idea. Here's what I want you to do. Instead of you waiting on God, you know what I want you to do? I want you and I to learn how to wait with God. There's a big difference when it comes to waiting with God and waiting on God. When I make Him my shepherd, He leads me and guides me to the places that I'm supposed to go.
We are dependent upon God's timing, and we're going to have to make peace with that. You may be frustrated that God hasn't solved the challenge of your life, or that you've had to bear a circumstance for an extended period of time. I don't pretend to be able to tell you I understand that, or I can articulate an answer to that, but I would tell you I've come to trust the Lord in His timing.
Trust. He wants you to trust Him. And I want to challenge you, during seasons that you're waiting, it shows our trust in God.
I mean, at the absolute irreducible minimum, when you and I are in the midst of a waiting season, we can still trust God. We can still be faithful to Him. We can. Is it often difficult and challenging? You bet. How long would you wait if you knew there was a blessing on the other side? How long would you wait? When God says wait, or I'm going to put you in a waiting season, and you trust Him with it, it's always worth the wait.